Warhammer 40,000 is full of terrifying factions. The Imperium will turn you into tax-paying corpse starch. Chaos will turn your soul into a screaming decorative lamp. The Necrons will atomize you because you walked on their lawn. And the Orcs will beat you to death because, frankly, it sounds like a lovely afternoon. But the Tyranids? The Tyranids do not hate you. They do not want revenge. They do not care about your politics, your religion, your tragic backstory, or your limited edition Space Marine Funko Pop collection. They are hungry. That's it. The Tyranids are not an army. They are not a civilization. They are not even really a species in the normal sense. They are a galaxy-sized stomach with claws. And today, because I am apparently qualified to explain cosmic horror using jokes about buff shrimp, we're going to explain the Tyranids, where they came from, how they work, why they are so horrifying, and why they might be the biggest "we are absolutely cooked" problem in all of Warhammer 40,000. The Tyranids are an extragalactic swarm of biological murder creatures. That means they didn't originally come from the Milky Way. They came from outside the galaxy, which is already a terrible sign, because apparently the Milky Way, a place already containing demons, robot skeletons, torture elves, and religious fascist spacemen, was not enough of a health and safety violation. So the Tyranids show up from the dark between galaxies like, "Hello, we heard there was biomass." Biomass is the key word here. To the Tyranids, everything living is food. Humans? Food. Eldar? Fancy food. Orcs? Spicy fungus food. Space Marines? Protein bars and power armor. They don't invade planets to rule them, they invade planets to eat them. Not just the people, not just the animals, not just the forests, everything. They consume the oceans, the atmosphere, the microbes in the soil, your dog, your nan, your hopes, your dreams, and probably the emotional support cactus on your windowsill. When the Tyranids are finished with the world, it is not conquered, it is empty. Just a dead rock floating in space, looking like someone put an entire planet through a blender and drank the smoothie. Now, the reason the Tyranids are so dangerous is because they are controlled by something called the hive mind. The hive mind is basically one gigantic alien consciousness that controls the entire Tyranid swarm. Think of it like a group chat, except instead of your mates sending bad memes at 2 a.m., it is trillions of murder bugs receiving one message: consume. Every Tyranid creature is connected to this hive mind through a psychic network. The little ones don't have independent thoughts. They don't sit around wondering if they should go back to uni or start a podcast. They exist to obey. The hive mind thinks. The Tyranids act. Everyone else screams. But here's the fun part. The hive mind is not stupid. It learns. If the Tyranids invade a planet and get beaten, they don't just rage quit like a League of Legends player after one bad lane. They adapt. Did your guns work too well? Next time, the bugs might evolve thicker armor. Did fire stop them? Next time, they might develop fire-resistant organisms. Did your heroic last stand succeed? Congratulations, you have given the space locusts homework. This is what makes them terrifying. They are not just endless bodies. They are endless bodies with patch notes. A Tyranid invasion usually starts quietly. First, gene stealers arrive. Gene stealers are sneaky Tyranid organisms that infiltrate planets and infect populations. They don't just run in screaming, they hide. They create gene stealer cults, slowly corrupting human societies from within. So while the local governor is busy taxing peasants and pretending the planet is fine, there is a weird bald bloke with 4 arms in the basement saying, "Hey guys, what if we worshipped the star gods and also betrayed the entire planet?" And somehow, people join. Because in the Imperium, life is so awful that join the alien bug cult can sound like a reasonable career move. Eventually, the cult rises up, sabotages defenses, causes chaos, and sends out a psychic signal to the Hive Fleet, which is basically the dinner bell. Then, the sky darkens, the spores fall, the bioships arrive. And suddenly, your planet has gone from slightly dystopian industrial nightmare to documentary about ants, but the ants are the size of cars and your family is the picnic. The Tyranids have a creature for every terrible occasion. Hormagaunts are the little stabby ones. Fast, angry, and built like someone gave a velociraptor knives and no emotional regulation. Termagants are small gun beasts, except their guns are also alive, because the Tyranids looked at regular firearms and said, what if the bullet had feelings? Then you have warriors, which are bigger, smarter synapse creatures that help control the swarm. Carnifexes are living battering rams. Imagine a rhinoceros took steroids, joined a death cult, and got sponsored by Monster Energy. Hive tyrants are enormous battlefield commanders. giant winged or armored nightmare generals who can tear tanks apart and mentally control the swarm around them. And then you have the truly cursed bioforms like the Norn Emissary, Trigons, Maleceptors, and other creatures that look like they were designed by a sleep paralysis demon with a biology degree. But the most disgusting thing is that all of these organisms are tools. They are not individuals. They are not heroes. They are not villains. They are limbs of one massive predator. One creature bites, one creature shoots, one creature thinks, one creature digests. The Tyranids are less like an army and more like a body, a giant body. And unfortunately, you are the sandwich. The Tyranids are scary because they don't play by normal faction rules. You can't negotiate with them. You can't threaten them. You can't bribe them. You can't seduce them, unless you are extremely weird and should probably be on a watch list. They do not care about land, wealth, pride, religion, revenge, ideology, or honor. They just want biomass. And the worst part? The Tyranid hive fleets currently attacking the galaxy might only be the first waves. That's right, the swarms the Imperium has barely survived may not be the full Tyranid force. They might just be the little taste testers, the cosmic appetizer. The galaxy is fighting for its life against what might basically be the Tyranid version of licking the spoon. Which raises a very important tactical question. Are we cooked? And the answer is, probably medium rare, depending on how quickly the bugs arrive. Every faction in 40,000 is horrible in a different way. Chaos is evil because it corrupts. The Imperium is evil because it survives by becoming a nightmare. The Necrons are evil because they are bitter, ancient skeleton landlords. The Drukhari are evil because they wake up every morning and choose HR violations. But the Tyranids are different. They are not evil in the same way a villain is evil. They are more like a natural disaster. A hurricane does not hate your house. A shark does not have beef with your leg. And the Tyranids do not hate the galaxy. They are simply hungry, which somehow makes them worse, because there is no emotional weakness to exploit, no tragic redemption arc, no secret maybe we can reason with them button. Just hunger. Endless, intelligent, adapting hunger. The Tyranids are the galaxy's hungriest problem because they turn the entire setting into one massive question. What happens when a universe built on endless war gets attacked by something that eats war? So that's the Tyranids explained. They are space locusts, alien dinosaurs, psychic murder shrimp, and a cosmic digestive system all rolled into one extremely unpleasant family package. They don't want your throne. They don't want your skull. They don't want your soul. They want your calories. And in the grim darkness of the far future, where every faction is fighting for survival, power, revenge, or religious trauma, the Tyranids are just standing there with a knife and fork saying, "Is anyone going to eat that planet?" If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to GrimDerp for more Warhammer 40,000 lore explained badly enough to be entertaining, but accurately enough that the lore nerds only mildly threaten me. Comment below which faction I should explain next. And remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. And the Tyranids brought Tupperware.